recent announcement that the Plum Island Horror has started shipping from GMT. I was allowed to put the tabletop simulator module live. And because of that, my brother and I decided to play a two-player game of the Plum Island Horror together. He has watched the how to play videos and some of the example of play, but we're going to be sort of doing a little bit of teaching while we go because this will be his first playthrough. So with that introduction, let's jump right into the Plum Island Horror. So just before we do, so I mean, you've been through the videos, you watched at least a little bit of the playthrough. So
I watched the first 1.5 videos of the playthrough, and I watched the 3 how-to plays.
And so, are there any sort of burning questions like going in that you're just like, I didn't get that at all?
Or no, I'll tell you the one thing on the how-to that I might have missed, but it became really apparent in the playthrough was where does supply come from?
Right.
It became super apparent.
Yeah.
Because there were in the how-to there were a lot of this cost supply and that cost supply, and I'm like, well, but where does?
Good point. Yeah. Fair enough.
Where does that come from? And then when you started the video, you were like, well, everyone starts with 1 supply, I think, or 2 supply.
2, yeah. It was. Yep.
And I was like, well, that's not enough to get you through the game from what I saw.
It's not even enough to get you through the first hunger phase.
Yep.
So as I did in the example of play, like getting that power on is like a really important first day activity, but searching is also really important. So
those were pretty apparent.
Yeah, so now choosing factions is like the first thing. And so what I thought we'd do is actually just play the 4-player version, and we'll each just play 2 factions.
Okay, that works.
And
are there? I'm looking at. So there's 6 factions.
There's 6 factions. No, 6 factions. The top one.
The monsters and then
the top one is the horrors, and the other one is the NPCs. Yeah, you can't call them zombies because the designer created a game called Dawn of the Zed, so you can't call them zombies.
That's not allowed.
Not allowed.
They're just horrors.
Exactly, they're just horrors. So, I'm gonna personally I'm gonna play the orange and the green. The reason I'm gonna play the orange and the green is out of sheer laziness. Like as I was building this tabletop module, I only ever played the bottom 4 factions because they were closer to me. So I've literally never played with the orange and the green. So I really want to. So I'm gonna click on play faction for those 2, and then you can pick whichever other 2.
I assume I should pick a color. You picked.
The color doesn't actually really matter, to be honest with you, because you don't have hands or anything. But you don't want to be spectator because we'll have all the same problems we had before.
Yeah, that's a challenge. So in terms of knowing the factions like you do of these 4, which 4 would you recommend?
Well, so
I don't have the special capabilities down yet.
So here's what I'd say: the purple faction is really good for getting the power on early.
That was the one that started down at the dump.
Yeah, started down at the dump. So I always really like them. The Pearl Security Services are also really good because don't click them yet because they have some really nice abilities that allow you to like clean out the biohazard bag if things start getting out of control.
So purple was a good click.
Yeah, purple's a good click. Well, that's a good one.
Okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And then, but blue is also good because they have the ability to move people around and they have the ability to search really well. So I would pick blue or brown, whichever one like you sort of like the best, just randomly. You pick blue for your personal color, so you play blue.
There you go. You made that easy.
Yeah. So okay. So
it has placed a couple of the units that have to be placed there, right?
Yeah. So a couple of them, you can see a couple of them are already on the board because those ones are they start in a specific location. So the setup script just automatically moves them there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these fate tokens. I'm going to put them in the turn order bag. I'm going to get rid of the wild turn token because we don't need that. So then the next thing that we do is I'll click this button to add the civilians. Actually, sorry. We need to place the rest of our standees. Sorry, that's
I was wondering.
Yeah. Sorry. So that's the next thing we should do. All right. So now we are all placed. So now we're going to set up civilians. So I'll just press this button and it'll take care of itself. Okay, so we got civilians. We'll spawn horrors next. So that's gonna, you can see that's just gonna spawn all the horrors in the top tracks. And then we'll shuffle the decks, and now we got to do bridge storm damage. So that's this little chart here. So you want to pull a fate card and get a fate number for us?
A fate card.
6. Widespread damage. So damage 2 on each even numbered bridge and the Great South Bay Bridge.
And when you had in the video.
Yep. All right. So we'll go find all these even numbered bridges and start putting this on it. All right, bridge storm dim. Now first contact.
Very common.
Yeah, well, at least it's the same as was in the example of video. All right.
I mean, one of these guys can attempt to come down and repair as well.
True.
Same.
Yeah.
Doesn't pull 2 cards, but
yeah, that's actually maybe not a bad idea.
Might be a bad double plan since they're stacked together.
Yeah. All right, so
correct me if I'm wrong, but orange and blue are taking the left side. Green and purple are gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna orange and blue. We're gonna sort of generally take the left side, and we'll put green and purple on the right. Okay, so yeah, so the next thing we got to do is the first contact process. So draw a fate card, and we're just gonna follow the activate instructions. Oh God. Draw a fate number. Activate the track number equaling the drawn fate number 2 times. So let me put this aside so we don't forget that's what we're doing. 6. So we're going to activate 6 twice. This could be a little ugly to begin with. So he's moving 1, and now he's got to make a choice between those 2 tracks. So you want to pull a fate number and tell me what you get?
2.
All right. Well, the good news is he avoids me. The bad news is he eats the Walker family, which, the families tend to be the highest point civilians, so that's unfortunate. So we add 1 to his stack because he killed a unit, and we add a yellow cube to the biohazard bag because that was a close combat. But the good news is we stop there. Yeah. You don't resolve the second action if you in a surge, you don't resolve the second action if you make contact on the first. So now we reshuffle the fate deck. So reshuffle the fate deck because we're going to put all those cards back in. Oh, you can hit the reshuffle button up top because we want to also put that one back in there too. Yeah, the reshuffle button will grab everything in the discard pile and put it back in.
Yep.
And then we're just off.
You won't grab things if we pull them off.
Yeah, it won't grab them if we pull them off. And then we're just off and playing. So first things first, draw a turn order token. So I'm up. So orange is on the left here. So first things first is I'm going to do my crisis adrenaline moves. So I'm going to get him moving laterally. And I'm going to get him moving over so he can get over there. And then I'm thinking I might search with him. So I think I'm going to leave him there. Both of these guys can move pretty good. So I'm wondering if I should move these guys up. Sort of, this is usually a good forward defense, and then we could possibly get the Partridge family out of harm's way.
How did they get there?
Crisis adrenaline move. So they can move. They've got their foot movement. His foot movement is a 2. Her foot.
How did he do foot movement with that damaged bridge?
Because I'm an idiot and I didn't notice the damaged bridge.
Okay.
That's because
that makes way more sense to me.
Yeah. Sorry. I think they're gonna stay.
From what I say,
Yeah, they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay where they are.
Here, or stay there and try and repair a bridge.
Yeah, let's do this. We'll move her. She can get to there. We'll move her 3 so she can get to there.
So they get their full foot movement in Crisis Adrenaline.
They get their full foot movement in Crisis Adrenaline. So that's.
So why did you not move? Oh, that one is a 1. That's why you. No, that's a 2. right?
I should have moved him too, so I'm gonna move him to there.
Well, he couldn't have ended up here anyway. Now that I see it,
Oh
there's
yeah,
two
yeah,
people.
yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. Good lord. So far not. And then this guy also can move too, so I'll move him to there as well.
Okay. I was sitting there thinking, okay, I guess they can only move one on Christless Adrenaline.
So maybe I should use him to repair this bridge.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, I'm gonna do that. So we're gonna draw a fate card for him. We draw a 3 on the repair table, so I can reduce it by 1. So that gets 1 down. It's a start.
Seems like helpful.
Yeah, it's a start. I mean, it would have been better to get rid of it completely, but it gets us going. I mean, one thing I might want to do actually in my next turn is move both of these guys to here, just because.
So you're past Crisis Adrenaline now, right?
Yes.
You did an action.
Yeah, I did an action. Did you have a question?
You did not. Well, yeah, you didn't want to do anything with Phil Tiger King.
No. I mean, I was thinking about searching with him, but I think this bridge is a higher priority.
Okay.
And I can only activate one person this turn, right? Down here, right? There's
I meant in the Crisis Adrenaline move.
Oh,
you're keeping him there to surge.
I'm keeping him there because I want to search in that location. Plus, well, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll Crisis Adrenaline move him to here because then he can move these guys and he can search there.
Yeah, he can search. Kind of going.
Yeah.
Was there value to getting him up and blocking here or here?
Yeah, actually, and I can also get those civilians out of harm's way. So now we do follow actions. So what I generally
order that they go.
I just generally tend to go clockwise following.
Clockwise, yeah.
So green would be next. So let's see. Do I have anybody green who is in a place that I think it's important to do something? I mean, probably the most important thing would be maybe to get this guy moving over more towards my side of the board. So maybe I could move him like 1, 2, 3. That also gets me blocking this in case they come down that way. So I'm gonna move him 3 to there.
That was 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So that'll help me sort of unite up with this guy, and I can help block up there. But I got to draw a fate card, and unfortunately, I get an event card. Sorry.
So that's the end of that.
That's the end of that, and we have to do this. If the Old Republic area has any damage marker, spawn a Murder of Horrors stack into the area.
Fix E?
Yeah, I think it does.
Sure enough.
Yep. So we're drawing 3 or 4. So we're drawing 3 because the biohazard level is sort of in that area where you draw 3. So we had 3 of them there. Actually, I should have just grabbed 4 because he immediately eats the Rough Life dog grooming. Did you grab a biohazard cube and put it in the bag for us?
I did not, but I will.
So there we got biohazard is already ticking up dangerously. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well.
But this first turn, you're so constrained. It's like it's so tempting to move.
You had controls over
the
cards. I could hold you accountable.
Yeah, I should. I'll program that in later. Where if I'm playing, it like gives me whatever I want. All right, you want to grab the next turn on it? Yeah. Next. That's me again.
All right. You again. Well, I'm not sure I'm happy about that.
Well, let's finish.
It feels like getting a chance to move early and position to block isn't terrible.
It's not terrible, but I also generally like to have a few at the end to sort of deal with whatever the horror. I don't like the horrors just having like free reign.
Free reign for 2 or 3 moves. Yeah.
So I'm gonna Crisis Adrenaline move Jason Kruger into position.
Right, it's Crisis Adrenaline at this point.
Yeah, because I'm onto my green. Each faction gets Crisis Adrenaline.
Got it. Oh, I see it. Yep.
And he's gonna Crisis Adrenaline move up.
I get it now.
I think I'm gonna, let's see, her admin is not great, so she can't move a ton of people. Thinking maybe I move her up to here because we've got this to deal with now.
Yep.
And it'd be great if I could move Biff over here, but unfortunately I can't because you're
currently blocking the way.
Currently blocking the way. And I don't think, well, maybe I do want to. No, I think I'm going to leave him there to stay on that track. So that's 1 green unit, 2 green units, 3 green units, 4 green units, 5 greens. So I think I'll leave everybody else where they are. Let me remind myself. Okay. Oh, during a normal foot movement, she can move directly from one area to any other. Okay. So she's kind of useful that way. So options, I could range combat there. That's one possibility.
Start to repair the bridge.
Yeah, I could search here. I'm kind of tempted to leave the bridge damaged for now because it's such a giant overrun area that I'm a little nervous about repairing it. Or I
Especially
could
with that coming down.
With that coming down, yeah, with 2 things coming down. So I think probably with all of that, it's probably makes sense to do range combat here. What do you think?
Probably.
All right, so I'm going to pay the supplies for range combat. She's got range combat of 2. So coming down here.
That was poor.
So far, I'm not being much help, man.
It's all on me, baby.
Yep, your turn. In fact, now you get to choose follow actions for purple. His special action is really useful because it could push these horrors back and stun them. Right? Yeah. In fact,
two values to that. If they get pushed back, and these guys come down, they merge and they slow down, right?
They slow down. I mean, they become more difficult in close combat, but they slow way down. So pay your supplies, and then you draw a fate card. 3. Okay, so you're gonna push 3 of them back to an adjacent area and make them stunned. So basically,
there's only 1 left.
Yep. And I'll grab a stunned marker for us.
So stunned does. Are they both stunned or
all of them?
Stunned.
All of them. Oh, sorry.
Those are stunned, right?
Yeah, I put it in the wrong place.
Okay.
Yeah, those are stunned. Yep. So now follow actions.
It's interesting. The push does not cause new combats or amalgamations. So you can end up with 2 stacks of.
Well, you would keep in mind one of the reasons for that is you would anyway, because if these got pushed back, they don't amalgamate because he's stunned. Right?
Okay.
If you remember,
stun that causes that.
It's really the stun that causes that. The fact that they don't cause new combats, I think all of that is just clarifying, right? Is that you put the stunned before anything else happens in the area. Is kind of what it's doing. So now it's your blue turn. So.
No. Oh yeah.
Follow to decide whether you want to do a follow action with blue.
Let's see.
So this guy could be Joseph Friday could be a really good guy to move here to do this because his admin rating is frighteningly high, and that.
What's the admin rating? Is it the 5?
It's the 5, and so that can sometimes get used for repair. So I think a foot movement with him. Actually, though, you know what? Don't do that because you can crisis adrenaline move him without drawing a card and get him there anyway.
So I've got this guy and this guy. The question is, do we even want to do anything at this point? Because I can adrenaline move people. Are they really going to do something that we think is valuable yet? I mean, I could be moving somebody forward.
Yeah, I actually think you should forego it because I don't think there's anything that valuable right now. And then let me look at, like with orange, I could try to repair, or I could move these guys up to here. So what do you think about doing a follow action to get the tennis players up here?
Yep.
So we'll do a follow
that.
action to move them all the way up there, because that way they can get that family out. Okay, we don't draw an event card. And then for green, I could just repeat this range combat action because and try to get rid of this one stack horrors are annoying because if he moves and he moves in and then he like adds a cube for that's just annoying. So I think maybe we do range combat with her.
Yep.
So I spend my last. I'm gonna need to do some supply searching.
Supplies here. Yep.
Because green is out. I got a partial hit and a shield, which is unfortunately nothing. The shield doesn't count as a hit because they're in.
Yep.
I always call it
not firing it.
Urban, but it's not urban. I forget what it actually is. So draw a fate card and we get an event card. Oh no. Oh god, the leper messiahs.
This is not good.
I hate the horrors mutations, man. All right, so we draw a fate number. So they spawn in. So they go into spawn zone 3.
This is an actual one of these guys.
Yeah, that's one of those guys. So grab them and put them in spawn zone on track 3.
That guy.
Now what I got to do is so it says
seem powerful.
They are. They're really annoying. If the Uhtred Vikings cruises civilians units on the map are evacuated, a former shield maiden bravely whacks the monster as it enters. So I find early in the game, I find the easiest way to find out if this like civilians unit is in the game is
to look at what's not.
Is to look in here to look at what's not in the game.
Yeah.
So
they are in the game.
So yeah, so they're not in there. So they're in the game somewhere because we know these are the only two
they're
that are
literally nowhere near that spot. But
yeah, but
his family member was.
Yep. But they still get involved and he spawns with 1 hit cube.
So every civilian card is always in the game.
No, there's 8 civilians that don't get placed at the beginning of the game.
I didn't even see that. I was looking up here.
No. So what I was doing is I was searching this bag right here.
Got it.
So basically, if it's not there or if it's not in that top right corner, then it's on the board somewhere, and it just sort of saves you.
Civilians come out for some reason.
They can. There's
okay.
Yep. There's
That's
events.
Why you don't just throw these back.
Correct. They can enter the game at some point.
All
right. So I think we really don't want to draw one of our tokens again. All right. We're going to draw another event card. Ugh. Breakout from Secret Labs. Spawn a Murder of Horror stack directly into the Oceanside Industrial Park, Area 2C. Oh, God. That's really far down the board.
There with some civilians.
Oh,
goodness.
So I'm going to pull 4 because we know what's going to happen. Actually, no. Sorry. So they start with 3. So they're only going to eliminate 1 of these civilians.
Got it. Well, we should have him fight the 1.
Yes, we'll have him. Unfortunately, Wayland pool maintenance
Or professor.
Yeah. So I did spawn him with 4 because eliminating that unit adds 1.
Eliminating that. Yep.
But now we got to add a biohazard cube to the bag. You want to do that, or you want me to do that?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, go for it.
Well, if you got it,
that's fine. All right.
All right, another draw.
Yeah, another draw. All right, draw a fate card and let's see what we get. Reanimated. Draw a fate number. So let's pull that. Yeah, pull that off. Oh God, look at that.
Number 1.
So every Murder of Horrors unit located on track 1 gets 2 Murder of Horrors. I think that's only the guys in the spawn zone.
Only 1. Yeah.
So that's not.
That could have been worse.
That could have been a lot worse. Like if we had drawn this track, that would have track 6. That would have been really bad. But now the problem is
we activate 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. So 4 is easy.
But we start at the lowest. Do you do it per track, or do you start?
I go track. Here? I go track by track, and then okay. On the track you start at the lowest.
Okay.
So go here. So I'm gonna just double check how big this is. So there's 4 in there.
What do you hit to see that.
So you hit 1 on the numpad, not like on the keyboard, but on your number pad. It's this weird thing in tabletop where you're able to index the numpad key, but I couldn't find a way, and maybe this is just because I'm not that good at it, to key it to like a hotkey. Oops.
And where do I see it? So I see the little.
So look in
I'm
the
trying to see
look
where
in
it
look in
describes it.
look in the chat in the lower left.
Oops.
See the chat in the lower left? It says
Mine says you have been promoted.
so.
Morning dew with color blue. I don't see your.
Okay.
Just fine.
Yeah, it's possible that I forgot to send that message to all the players for some reason. So 4 he moves 2 areas. So he's gonna move
He's
into
gonna end up here.
Schnitzel Brewery.
We have close combat.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and
Is it best to do the combat markers?
I tend to do them when I've got something big like track 4, 5, and 6. Because otherwise it's like, I mean, you know how often we forget things in the other games we've played. So I think it's good to do them. Oh, you grabbed the entire thing.
What? No, I didn't.
Oh, you cloned it. It's an infinite bag.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, so you can just grab stuff out of it. Okay. So then track 5, again, we know
Could
this
also be 2.
Yes, should also be 2. Luckily he's not going to hit anybody. Now this. So this
Yeah, so now I'm curious.
This dude,
He is gonna. We gotta decide which direction.
We
he's
gotta
going.
draw
We'd
a
love to get him
fate.
going left.
we'd love 2 through 5. We would absolutely love 2 through 5.
About a 3.
That'll do. So I mean, it's
One
a
damage down.
little unfortunate for your firemen.
Well, I'm sitting there thinking the bridge.
That's
damage.
that's
It's
the
damage.
area's damage. No, there's no bridge there. So
Yep.
you're gonna have combat there.
I don't know if we really wanted to. I don't know. Did it matter what we had there?
Well,
Given that?
probably not actually, because he's likely to be eliminated.
Yep.
So the next thing is this stack here. And
So what happens with a stunned?
it just comes off. That's like
That's his move.
that's his entire thing. And then this dude is 5, right?
Yep.
So 5, he's moving 2 areas. So he's going to just pass right through and end up here.
Doesn't amalgamate when he moves through them.
Don't amalgamate when you move through. You amalgamate at the end. They amalgamate at the end of their movement.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
All right. So let's do combat then. So this,
You're first.
yeah. So I'm just reminding myself. So this has got
When they move, it's always close combat. In this scenario.
always close combat. Yeah, when they move. So he's got 4. We're in urban, so we divide him by 4. So he's going to do 1 hit to my dude.
And you got 2.
I want to just double check to make sure he doesn't have some cool ability I'm forgetting about. Yes. The unit may attempt to avoid a horror's close combat attack by drawing a fate number before resolution. On a 1, he can fight the combat. On a 2, he moves 1 area. On a 6, he moves 1 area and may take along any other units in the area. The attacking horrors unit stops its activation regardless.
Let me ask this, because there's a civilian unit in there.
Yes. So what that last part of it means, it stops his activation regardless, is if I draw,
Attack him.
he won't attack him until he activates again.
Right. So the risk to this civilian, which is a 1,
Yeah.
is you can move here. You could move back in,
Yeah.
and do it again.
Yeah.
Correct. And you could just keep doing that, but hopefully, eventually.
Yeah.
So what would you want to do here? Hope for the 6.
That seems pretty
Right.
optimistic. And my concern is if I fall back then and he moves, then next turn I'm fighting in clear. So I think I'm just gonna fight him here, and I'm just gonna hopefully survive.
Right. So he's got 1, and you got 2.
All right, that's a pretty good roll.
Oh, that was good.
So I got a hit on him and a shield.
Nothing to you.
So I take 1 of his off and put it in there. But we do
Nothing to you
still
at all.
add a biohazard cube to the biohazard bag. unfortunately. That's the big problem, is we're in a lot of close combat here.
So now we got this one.
So hang on. Did you add it? You didn't add it to biohazard cube?
I did not add the biohazard
Okay.
cube.
I have.
So they have 4 or 1, which is going to drop down to 1.
Yeah, you have 4.
And I have 4.
So you should be.
My guy doesn't have anything super cool, right?
No, he doesn't have anything super cool. For this, anyway. He has something super cool for range combat, but not for this.
Right. All right, so I'm rolling 4.
So you're rolling 4.
What in the world?
That's cocked, but you can see hovering over it, it's on the 4 side, so you can just. So basically, you got a critical hit, a hit, and a shield.
Shield.
So
I didn't get damaged. He's gone.
He's gone. Exactly. Right? Yep. Exactly.
But a biohazard goes in the bag.
And a biohazard goes in the bag. Yep. So we may need all those decontaminate actions we talked about. But at least we got that singleton off the board, because that's super annoying. That right there is really annoying.
All right.
So
if I'm not mistaken.
So the good news is next time this guy moves, if these guys move and choose the same path, they'll amalgamate. Because they're going to stop next turn.
So all right. Drawing another one.
Drawing another one. Purple. Okay. So
that may not be terrible. Because I can push him back.
Yes. That's not terrible, actually, because you can push him back.
I think that's what I'd want to do, wouldn't it?
We'll start with Crisis Adrenaline. Let's just make sure you don't want to get any...
So I think I want to get the mayor moving forward.
Yes. Moving over. Yes. Yeah, you want to get her moving over so you try to get her to someplace like this.
Yeah, so I'm thinking just right now get her.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. I think that's great.
So I think that's it with my adrenaline move.
Yeah.
So I would be activating Mr. Cramden, who would pick up Mr. Norton.
Yeah, the only thing to note about this actually is this is going to use your last supply. But I still don't think that's a bad thing, frankly. It means this guy can't do his special action until he gets some supplies, but he could do a search action next time, for example.
Okay.
But I still think this is good because we're already hitting some supply issues, so we really need to get that on.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
All right. So
supply off the board.
Yeah.
Are those unlimited?
Those are unlimited. Yeah, you can just delete that.
So 1. Well, I'm just going to move Mr. Norton for now. 2, 3, 4, and he's going to stop in here.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And they'll both go together. So now the police are moving. The constabulary is moving. I wonder, here's a question for you. I wonder if with the constabulary, maybe you should actually try to repair this bridge so that we have some ability to move across these two. We're not blocked off from this side of the board unless we go, up or down.
Probably. So we'll get Mr. Friday.
Yeah, because he's got the higher admin rating.
Running that. So it's a fate card?
It's a fate card. Yep. So we're looking over there on the repair table. 4. Brilliant.
So what does his admin do to that?
So
how does it help?
So if you look over on the repair table over here,
yep,
it says under 4 to 5, it says you've got skills for a damaged area or bridge.
Got it.
Remove damage markers equal to the admin rating of the unit. So he could have removed 4, right?
Yep,
so
he got them. That is repaired.
That is repaired. So just delete that. Those are unlimited as well. So that's good. Now, we can get those blue guys can start moving over there if they need to.
I still think I want to get Friday down here. Well, these guys can now repair.
Yeah, these guys might. We've got options now, and they could start moving over here.
Yeah,
if they
pretty
want to.
good options because we got these guys coming down.
Yep. So draw a fate card to see if we get an event.
I don't want to.
No, you don't want to. That would not be good.
No event. All right.
Orange. I'm wondering if maybe a crowd control here or here. Or even here to move these.
Well, I would throw out this one. They're within 2. They're not going to get here in one move, right?
Well, the leopard
can also
these dudes might.
Oh, he's a foot of 2 as well.
Oh, he's a foot of 2 as well. Okay, so they're not.
So they're not, and they have a 50, or they have a
Yeah.
60% chance of not going that way.
Yeah.
So it feels like those are in harm's way more than.
All right. So I will do a follow action to crowd control the partridge family there.
And yay.
No event. Green. I do
Another
not have any supplies, so what I think I'm gonna
no
do with
range.
green is I'm gonna come over
Search.
here with Gordon Fleet and I'm gonna search. And hopefully find something. Wolverines! Your unit comes across this
Wow.
comes a bloody scene in the middle of a swath of carnage. Half dozen cheerleaders and what looks to be an actual huddle of football players. They've just annihilated a mob of horrors. Place the Wolverines NPC unit in this area. If this results in it surpassing, place it in an eligible area. If your unit is from the Islanders Athletic Club fashion, I don't think I am. So exhaust this area. Yeah, that was my. Unfortunately,
Orange? No, you're green.
that was my green guys doing it.
Yep.
And this time, unlike what I did in the example of play, I'm going to pull the right unit.
We got the Wolverines. That
We got the
seems
Wolverines. Yeah, that is good. They're actually a really good NPC unit. But I am going to pull.
How do they move?
So I can during your turn, during a player activation, instead of activating one of your unit, you can just say I'm going to activate the
Just do a
Wolverines.
Wolverine?
Yeah, I'm just going to activate the
Okay.
Wolverines. And their special ability is when they do a move action and it ends in the same area of a horrors unit, it gets a free close combat and you get it add 1 for each area it just moved.
Nice.
So they have a foot move with 3, so you can kind of like one of the things I was doing, for example, when I was in the example of play, you know, it's like I'd be like 1, 2, 3, and I'd attack that way, so they'd get like 3 extra dice.
Yep.
So you just kind of move them as far and as fast as you can. So they're a really good close combat unit. So one thing we might want to do is get them over here to kind of deal with these guys up here, since this track is currently a little bit wide open. All right, that's it. We didn't even draw a fake. We didn't even have to draw an event card for the first time.
All right.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Plum Island Constabularies. The horrors are going to go twice in a row.
Wow. One of my thoughts is to get Friday here, or maybe even into Pearl.
Well, what about getting Friday here and then with his crisis move, and then he can repair?
Oh, there you go. I forgot about the repair. That I like.
Yeah.
In there, now we want to move him over with this guy coming down.
Yeah, I think you do. I think move him over 1. I think he's got a pretty good range combat ability too. I think he's like, he can move 1 and then shoot, or he can shoot and then move 1. I remember
Is he the
correctly.
scoot and shoot guy?
Yeah, scoot and shoot
Yeah,
and
he's
scoot.
the scoot and shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be good, because like if you wanted to do range combat right now, which I wouldn't advise because I think this is the priority, but he could like move up here, shoot, right?
Yep.
Chase, I like where Chase is, I think. But what about moving the leader? You should get the leader moving his crisis adrenaline, as well as this guy. And we should get this guy into a space with a search icon as quick as we can, because he's good at searching.
So where is there a search icon?
So let's see. There's one here. So maybe you just move him there with his
You
crisis
can just
adrenaline.
move there right now. Yep.
Yep, crisis adrenaline, move him into the winery. He's gonna go get
And then the leader-
go get drunk with Sergeant York.
And then I wonder if the leader just also moves up like into, well, maybe over here, or
I think anywhere in these 2 rows is going to be okay for him, because, like, I think the blue is going to be over here. So I would probably
I think
move.
I'm going to move him here.
I like that. I think that's good.
And my only thinking was he can still move here. He can go here.
Yeah.
He can slide this way. This is getting crowded. If I had moved him here, he can't move to.
Yep. I like that. All right. So now for your real action,
Friday's going to attempt to repair.
Try to repair. I like that. So we want a 2. Well, that's going to repair 1. So 2 to 3 repairs 1.
Yep.
So not perfect.
Not what we wanted. Close. We're gaining on it.
We're getting there. So we should be able to, I mean, the good news is we should be able to get it next turn.
Yep.
Well, now we've got the agony of follow actions.
Orange, baby. The Islanders Athletic Club maybe wants to move an NPC.
I think you might be right. So he could move this NPC 1, 2, 3 and just roll a ton of dice.
Why not? It's an NPC.
I mean, the downside is the biohazard cube.
Oh.
But I like this idea. So he's going to take one hit. Truthfully, I mean, he's going to be rolling 6 dice. So
yeah.
you'd think.
But, by the way.
What?
Nope, I was wrong. I was sitting there thinking, this civilian's a problem.
It is, but you're going to.
Because this horror, if he moves there, because I was sitting there thinking, oh, look at this. 1, 2, 3. Although.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
So
I mean, these guys
rolling 3 dice, or I'm rolling 6 dice here. All right, I got 1 hit. I got 2 hits.
You got 4 hits and 2 critical hits.
4 hits and 2 critical hits. So he's eliminated. But I do want to keep rolling because I'm still with like a shield. I do not get a shield. So the Wolverines.
That's a lot of hits.
Unfortunately, yeah, it would have been. They unfortunately take
biohazard?
a hit, and 1 biohazard cube goes in the bag.
Almost out of yellow.
Yeah, this is going up much faster than I probably would have liked. But these all come off the board, right?
They all came off the board. That was a lot of hits.
That was pretty good, I think, frankly. I mean, that was worth the cost of the biohazard cube.
Yeah, I'll point out that guy can heal.
Yep, he can. Okay, so now that was a follow action.
So no event. So now green.
Green, I think maybe should. Well, green can't search here. Can green search here? Green could search here. Looking for some supplies.
Might as well. Searching.
Like
supplies.
I couldn't search
range combat.
Right, I couldn't search before because that area was compromised because it had the horrors in it. But I can search now, so I'm gonna draw a search card. That's a bad search card. We walk into an abandoned nightclub. The tequila twister in the dark. They spot bodies slowly writhing around the dance floor, apparently still moving to the beat of the featured band Pete Moss and the Fertilizer. Suddenly, the entire crowd spins towards your people on deck. Immediately spawn 3 murders of horse tiles into the area.
Done.
And they inflict 1 extra hit beyond what they would do normally.
Well done.
Thank you. I am really
You need to let me draw those.
Good Lord.
That's crazy.
All right, so they're doing 2 hits, and
There's a combat then.
I'm only rolling 2 dice. Well, I got a shield, so I'm taking 1 hit.
Yep.
Oops. Grab the entire thing.
Well,
and that
could have been worse.
Is Jason Krieger or Kruger? I don't know what it's supposed to be. Probably Kruger because I think it's a horror reference to Friday the 13th and Elm Street.
That would make sense.
So Jason, he takes 1 hit, and we add 1 to the biohazard bag.
Now we got to draw a fate card.
This would just be icing. All right.
And now your question is, do we want purple to do anything? No supplies. Not anywhere they can search, right?
No, not anywhere they can search.
Oh,
he is.
Right there.
Go for it.
We have him search.
Go for it. It can't be as bad as what I just did.
I'll find out.
Ah, it is. Holy cow.
It is just as bad. Well, no, it's not just as bad.
It's not just as bad.
What kind of hell place is this?
Oh, God.
Ay.
This track is a mess. Wow, this track is a mess.
I really wanted supplies.
And so did I, but instead we got horrors.
Well,
so
he's got a 2 or 1.
1. He's doing 1, and you're at least good at close combat. So you're rolling 4. So yeah, you can just roll those 4 up there. Shield, good. 1 hit and a critical. So 2 hits and a shield.
2 hits, so we'll roll 1 more.
Yep.
For my critical.
All right.
Second shield.
So we got rid of 2 of them.
Yeah.
You took no damage. But
That's good.
the bad news, Bad news is
in goes a cube. Oops.
in goes a
In
cube.
goes the cube.
And now we got to do two fate tokens in a row. We got to survive.
Let's confirm. Oh, yep, you're right. Turns out.
All right, that's
okay. That's not
bad.
the worst.
So we go up to track 2 and hit spawn on. Just hit that button at the top and it'll spawn them for us.
Yep.
And then
track 5.
Track 5. So the good news is he's going to move 1 and stop. I mean, the bad news is he's going to eat Zeke's wine and spirits.
Yep. And he adds another.
Yep. Did you
is that a biohazard?
That's a biohazard. Are you getting the biohazard cube?
I got the biohazard cube.
I'm adding 1 to his stack.
Hey, I get somebody over here.
This is
actually the Wolverines.
This whole area is turning into a complete mess. Yeah, 1, 2. The Wolverines can go.
Yep.
That's if they don't move again. So draw. So that's that. So now we draw the last fate token.
They're drawn again.
Oh God. Track 4 is gonna go. So draw a fate number. Oh God.
6. Oh no.
This is not. This may be a very short playthrough.
Oh my God.
This is pretty. This is pretty gruesome, man.
Putting 2 in each, right?
Putting 2 in each.
Did you change the phraseology to be show stack content?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. Well, the good news is that's the end of the turn. So replenish locations we don't do because that's only in night rounds.
Thank God, because we got nothing.
Yeah, mutant regeneration unfortunately stinks because we lose the hit cube on the leper messiahs.
Yep.
Biohazard infection step. Go for it.
Oh.
That's not surprising considering how many are in there. All right, throw those back in that bag. Back in the bag. Yep.
Back on the bag.
On
the bag.
Yep. Then we throw all of these back in the turn order bag. Even though it's set to random, we'll still give it a shuffle. We move it to the afternoon.
No.
So turn 1, I wouldn't say went that well.
It doesn't feel like it. We have the left side of the map under control.
So just so you know, in this game, it always feels like it's under control until it's not. Every game of this I've ever played, I'm like, I got this under control. And then at some point, it's just like, what happened? Now, admittedly, we're already at what happened on the right side of the board. And that is the end of part 1 of our Plum Island Horror playthrough. Thanks very much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you're enjoying this video or the channel, it would be great if you could like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, share. All of those things really help videos get found. They help the channel. They also help the game. So we will be back in the next video with turn 2, and we will see you then.